Welcome to the Word of the Week. I'm outside still, and I'm on my mowing marathon. And man, this thought came to me that I need to share with you. We can now prove. Prove what? Well, for those of you that don't know, I wrote a curriculum based on my recovery. There's 8 self-care steps that God showed me on how I went from point of injury to how I'm helping others get up. So when I use the language self-care, I use that typically in military first responder formations. But when I'm with the marketplace, when I'm at public schools, I use life skills. So they really apply the same. There's 8 life skill steps, or there's 8 self-care steps. Just recently, we did a survey at Fort Hood. I was there. We saw probably about 800 to 900 soldiers active duty, and we did a pre and a post survey based on my presentation to them, which is finding resilience in today's world curriculum. And so we found, based on the evidence, based on the statistical evidence, the quantifiable evidence that we received from the soldiers, that we are seeing, I think it's 8 out of 10 soldiers are saying that there's improvement based on the training that we're giving. And so, I've known that the path to my healing was tremendous, and it was a process. It took me 11 years to identify and understand how I made it. Friends, I don't have PTSD. I don't have trauma. I don't take medication. Like, God healed me. Does it mean that things are perfect? Does it mean that I don't battle things? No, not at all. I live in the same world that you do. And you know what? There's still active shooter events. And when active shooter events happen, do I respond? Yes. There is a very real response, but it's not a PTSD episode where I lock myself in my house, because I've been healed. Yes, I respond to it, but it doesn't cripple me, because Jesus healed me. And so God, through these 8 steps, walked me through a healing process, and now we are able to walk veterans, first responders, students, using these life skills, using these self-care steps, and walk them through living a resilient life. And it is so amazing. And I knew that I had something, but I didn't know what it was until we outlined the steps, and then we began to share them, we began to train it, and now we're taking surveys based on the training that I'm providing, and eventually other leaders will do small group training with it. And man, it is so powerful. The comments that we're receiving, literally, the comments that we are receiving is, this is the very best resilience training I've ever received in my career. I had a JAG officer, an Air Force Lieutenant Colonel JAG officer, say this is the very best resilience training I've ever been to. I had a Major Green Beret, an officer, a major that was a Green Beret, say, I've been in the military for a long time, and this has been the very best resilience training. Here's why. Because so much of resilience training is just understanding that you just need to get up. You just got to have grit. You just got to push through the pain. You just got to suck it up. But no one ever helps to identify what is resilience, what is the source of resilience, and then what are the steps to push through the pain? How do you push through the pain? Well, guess what? We have all that outlined in our 8 life skill self-care steps that we're sharing, and we're giving tangible tools, like saying, hey, look, you have to identify what your source of resilience is. Hey, you have to slow down. It's okay to take care of yourself. You have to face your fear and your pain. You cannot isolate. You cannot partner with substance abuse. You have to forgive. When you go see your counselors and your physicians, you have to tell them the truth. You can't just tell them about the incident in which they're seeing you for. You got to tell them about your whole life. You got to tell them about everything, because many of your invisible wounds that are in your soul that Kevin Weaver from the Warrior's Journey talks about, it's a lot of times what we're dealing with is not just the incident that we just went through, but it's so much of where we came from, the invisible wounds that came from our past, our childhood. We're still dealing with those things because we haven't faced them. So when you go see your counselor, you got to tell them the truth. You have to forgive. Who would ever thought that forgiveness was a part of healing and wholeness and living a resilient life? And then you got to let people help you. And we are now walking people through these steps and showing them how to apply them to their lives. And they're leaving our presentation saying, wow, I now know that I can live a resilient life. I now see what John has been through, and that dude was shot, left for dead. He's the one here encouraging me. Dude, I have a hope in the future. I have a hope in the future, and I know that I'm going to be okay. And now, not only are we saying, hey, look, we're giving these presentations, but now we can prove it. We can prove that the training and the curriculum that we have now is showing results, that people, that soldiers, that students will live a resilient life. And how awesome would it be for high schools, for homeschool programs, to teach students to live a resilient life and to have these life skills in their kit bag. So guess what? When they end up the leaders of America, when they become when they end up in the military, when they become business leaders, you know what? They're gonna know how to live a resilient life. They're gonna know what their source is for resilience. They're gonna know how to face their fear and their pain. They're gonna know to slow down. They're gonna know not to isolate. They're gonna know to stay in community. Why? Because they have been equipped with life skills to live a resilient life. And friends, it is so beautiful. So friends, I'm excited to tell you that we're not only telling you, now we can prove it. We can prove that what God is doing through us has results. All right, this is the word of the week. I'll talk to you later. Hey, don't forget, go to alifetransformed.com. Check out our store. We got so many new swag products. It is so cool. So cool. Go check it out. I'll talk to you soon. All right, I got to get back to work. You guys are taking up all my time. I'm going to tell my wife it's your fault that I'm not mowing the lawn.